Just wanted to do a quick video of a DVD I purchased a couple months ago. It's the Elvis 68 Comeback Special Deluxe Edition DVD, 3 DVD set. I got this at a record store. Every time I go to a record store, if they have DVDs or books, I always go in that section just to see what Elvis stuff I could find. One time I actually found this one too, which is pretty good. The Aloha from Hawaii Deluxe Edition DVD. I did a video of this before, so you can check that out if you're interested in that. But let's see what this is. This is the side view, and there's the back. And it opens up. It's 3 DVDs. And it comes with some booklets, I guess, or a booklet and some. Let's see what it has here. So this came out in, I think, 2004. So you have this, I guess, advertisements of some CDs, and then the back, some the DVDs. I guess the standard special, and then the standard Aloha from Hawaii. And then you also have this, which kind of tells you some information about what's on each disc. And it kind of like advertising the Elvis Aloha from Hawaii Special Edition. I'm not sure if you'll be able to read that because it's probably a little bit blurry. Sorry about that. But basically, it's a 3 DVD set over 7 hours of material. Includes the original 1968 broadcast version, plus over 3.5 hours of unseen footage, outtakes, false starts, alternate staging of the skits. So that's pretty cool. Disc 1 has pretty much the full, for the first time, the original Elvis television special as it first aired on NBC on December 3rd, 1968. And then Disc 2 has kind of like both of the stand-up shows. And yeah. And you got some outtakes on Disc 3. Unused takes and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. You have the complete edition of this special. I remember watching. Well, about a year ago, I think PBS actually showed the special, and I watched it. It had been a while since I've seen the special because except watching some footage on YouTube. But I was just like saying it's just a great show, and it's a great. I think Elvis had all this energy, and it was kind of like sparking his career, and there was you could see the excitement in him, knowing that the movie, his time in the movies were coming to an end, and he was exciting to start the new chapter of his career, going back to live audiences, performing in front of a live audience and stuff. And eventually, he would go back, to the performing at Vegas, the Vegas shows, the international. And then that would lead to touring, and it's a shame when I think about it. You look at how when you watch it, there's so much hope in what he was going to become and stuff, and then slowly that would fade away, and the touring and going on the road became less of an excitement and more of kind of a chore in a way, and kind of going through the motions. But looking back at this special, you could see it was still, there was still hope, and I'm saying hope, but there was still a drive in him in a way, and he was still, excited for what was ahead, if that makes any sense, But that's what I like about the comeback special, about that. But yeah, so this is a deluxe edition. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to, I think this is still available, maybe on eBay, or I haven't tried Amazon, but it's, pretty cool. It's kind of like I said, it's kind of almost like the Ultimate Edition, where you're getting, a lot of the outtakes, and both of the sit down and the stand-up shows. And I know there's been so much has been written about the comeback special, the Elvis special, of how it was called back then. It was so many books and pictures and stuff. There's so much. It's like we're like that this part of his career is highly covered, and in many books. Plus there's albums that have come out with So, but this is really good to have like the footage and just to have it because who knows when, like DVDs will. I don't go on a rant, but will DVDs be around? In a couple of years, where would this footage go? It's. I'm happy to have it, to be able to to own it and be able to watch it whenever I want, and not have to depend on some streaming service that I hope they have it on on Netflix or something, but definitely I'm glad to have that, and thanks for watching.